It's always frozen or something. Anyway, hi everybody. This is Charli Haynes. I'm sorry. I don't have a cold. It's just a hairball. Anyway, welcome to I'm Not Your Typical Anorexic, Skinny, Self-Loathing, Undernourished Bitch. Now, if you're skinny and it's natural, great. But you know what? Don't be one of these women that just gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until you just disappear or you have to go to a clinic because you refuse to eat. You know, it's like it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I've been watching all these anorexic videos and I'm thinking to myself, that's how these women really think they're going to be loved, as if they're thin enough. You know how sick that is? That's twisted. In other words, the more you disappear and become nothing, basically into thin air, then you're going to be approved of? Oh, God, no. No, 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 no. You know, I'm at the point, you know what? You don't approve of me because I have a gut and I'm 55 and I have brown spots and skin tags too fucking bad. Because I'm proud of it. I'm not gonna leave this earth and be, regretting who I am. Oh, forget that shit. And you know what? I deserve a nice guy in my life. I deserve to get myself a nice boyfriend. I haven't found him yet. But I will. I guess, the whole thing is that people are so afraid of dying or ending up dead and being alone when they die. The fact is, even if you have a lot of people around you, you're going to die alone anyway. And people are so afraid of death. Why are you afraid of death? The fact is, it's inevitable. Might as well accept it and feel emotionally free. That's what I'm saying. With me, I'm not afraid of death anymore. I'm not. It's like, whatever. I'm not afraid to die. It's going to give me a chance to get out of LA. That alone is a gift. If you hear squeaking in the background, it's a dog I'm taking care of. Of course, she starts to squeak when I'm doing this video. Murphy's Law. But anyway, like if I died, I wouldn't have to ever deal with the 405 freeway again. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's really crazy. And they, spiritualists say, well, if you just detach in life, things won't bother you as much. And I understand that's a process, but, I'd like to see Jesus Christ on the 405. How would he react? He'd probably be pulling out his long brown locks, you know what I mean? He'd be begging to be put back on the cross after being on the 405. That's a hell of a freeway, but it is a spiritual lesson. I feel the 405 is a spiritual lesson because, if you can breathe through it and, be around the angry people or the testosterone loaded people or whatever, that's an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? That's an it's worth working on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I was talking about men, right? Okay, so I'm looking for that special spiritual guy and someone that I can relate to. And it's going to be a decent person. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I've noticed, and I noticed this with both men and women, is I rarely go to parties because, frankly, I can't stand them. But once in a while I'll go, and there'll be one person that just gets up so close, male or female, and talks to me like this, And then in the past, I would back up, and then the other person would come forward, and then I would back up, and that person would come forward even more, and then I'd back up. You know what? I don't even put up with that shit anymore. I really don't. Now I have boundaries. I will not allow you to come up that close to my face anymore. I really don't. And you know what? Those people usually have bad breath on top of that. So I tell them, Could you please back off? Namaste. And that goes into another point. If you want to date me, which you probably don't, but if you do, please don't have chronic bad breath. I mean, everybody has bad breath sometimes. I do. Everybody does. The dog does probably. Although her breath is pretty darn good because she eats those dental chews. But, if you're one of these chronic bad breath guys, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not. Basically, let me tell you something. If your breath is so bad that at fancy restaurants, flies swarm like bees around your mouth, you're not for me. You're not for me. I'm not going to put up with it. Just like I will not put up with a guy saying he's going to call me at a certain time, and he never does. No. That is unacceptable behavior, right? Absolutely. Another thing that is unacceptable is if you're 40, 50, 60 years old and you still can't find my clitoris, you are not for me. No frickin' way. If you need a roadmap to find my labia, go to school and learn about it. Anatomy. Female anatomy. I've had guys like that in the past. Just forget it. And I remember I was talking to some guy from that fish site, and he said to me, he was in his 50s, and he said, men are big babies. And I'm one of them. Well, you know what? I'm not interested in babysitting. I'm really not. Now, that being said, we all have baggage. I have baggage. Believe me. I have so many skeletons in my closet. My closet looks like forest lawn. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't want to deal with somebody that's, I've been to jail 5 times and on drug charges. Yeah, I used to slap and beat my girlfriend or my wife. I'm not going to put up with that. That's horrible baggage, and I'm spitting so sexy. I don't know why I spit to the side. Ever since I turned in my 50s, I spit on the side. Anyway, I don't want all that baggage, that extra horrible baggage. So guys, think of me as a small plane. Don't board me if you have too many carry-ons. There's just not enough room in the overhead compartment. So leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't want it. I'm telling you. Oh, my neck. I need craniosacral work. If you know somebody, let me know, okay? Well, Jesus, I just hit my head. See, that, I have to love myself for that, I'm not very graceful, and that's okay, See, I go back like that, and of course I frickin' bang my head. That's, that's one of my faults. That's one of my things, is I bang my head, or I fall, or I trip, or I bump my boob into a door. You know what I'm saying? It's just, ugh. But, that's me. Yeah. I'm thinking back to my 40s. That was a little bit late in life to be dressing up like Barbie for kids' parties. But I was doing that at that time. And I was thinking to myself, as an adult, I never liked Barbie. She represented the very thing that I'm against, which is, let's look perfect. Let's have the long blonde hair and cater to man, because I don't feel worthy, so I have to cater. I can't think of what I find is attractive. I have to find what you find attractive. It's just like, oof. But I used to do that, and I was always against it, and I was always in a bad mood when I did those kids' parties. I remember I was doing a kids' party but I was dressed up like Barbie, and the birthday girl comes up to me and she asks me, Barbie, why do you have hair under your arms? And I said to her, because Barbie's from Europe. Get over it. Go to Europe when you're 20. Women there are more natural. Oh, natural. Oh, natural. It was just so, I just remember. And I remember I was dressed like a fairy. I used to hate dressing up like fairy princesses because those big-assed wings and all that stuff and having to put them on before the kids saw me. And it was always like cumbersome and, it was just horrible. And I remember I was, at the time, kind of depressed. And I remember going to a party and all the kids were so loud and running back and forth and all that other stuff. And I was just so sick of it. And I remember saying, kids, you better be quiet because the fairy princess is on Prozac. And this obnoxious little boy yells out, Fairy princess, what's a Prozac? And I said, well, kids, Prozac's the cousin to Prince Valium and Count Thorazine. Let's play limbo. I'm so glad I don't have to do that. It was just too much energy. It was exhausting working as a kids' parties entertainer. I'm so glad I don't have to do that. I'm glad I'm a psychic / stand-up comic. It's much more my pace, you know what I'm saying? I was a comic then, but every time I had to do those kids' parties, it was like, I don't have that kind of energy. My energy is more like kind of a lower, sultry energy. It's not up, hi! It's just like that helium-oriented energy level. I just can't stand it. I know that sometimes I scare certain men. Not you guys out there that are watching now because you're all manly and sure of yourself, right? Yeah. I'm talking about the guys, sometimes because I'm so honest, you know what I mean? And maybe because I was an ex-dominatrix and a lady wrestler, I don't know. But I found there for a while I was scaring a lot of guys, and it was weird. It was like, it was permeating my life. And I remember going to Trader Joe's, and I was in the produce section, and I picked up a cucumber, and it withered into a pickle. There's something wrong with that. I mean, it's like cucumber was scared of me, But nowadays, I'm still, because I'm a certain way, guys, But, I'm noticing more guys looking at me in the supermarket at 11 p.m. at Ralph's. Maybe that's a good sign. I catch them staring or looking. But usually when I start mumbling to myself, it kind of ruins it. But anyway, this has been real. And if you know how I can get on Facebook Live, could you please tell me? And also a craniosacral person, please? Okay. Thank you.